Here, Oscar De La Hoya claims for his fighter star Ryan Garcia, his plan is to take him on a world tour, his own world tour. Is that a world tour? Is that your girl tour? Yeah, we gonna talk about it. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. Before I get started, if you have a YouTube channel, listen up. Use TUBEBUDDY. Click my link in the description. You want to get it. TUBEBUDDY is a browser extension to help you level up your content on YouTube and fast. It doesn't matter what genre you're in. TUBEBUDDY will help if you dig into it. TUBEBUDDY is a great extension. I've used it for years and I continue to use it daily when I'm uploading videos like this. So again, level up your YouTube content. If you're a YouTuber or if you know someone, click on that link. Let's go. Now, Oscar De La Hoya did an interview with Sirius XM Radio in the Zone. And Oscar De La Hoya has declared that they're planning a world tour for Ryan Garcia next. The idea would be for him to potentially have 3 fights in different territories to develop and help develop his profile as a global star. Now, it sounds a little bit weird, you know what I'm saying? A world tour like he's Michael Jackson or something. Moving, don't lose, I don't lose. Like they try to hey Chris, I could get that girl. Watch me get that girl. Sounds weird, you know, putting him on a world tour like he's a musician or singer, rapper or something. We haven't really seen it. Like, listen, to each his own. I don't know what the game plan is for Oscar De La Hoya, but the thing that is very concerning is this. You got to look at this angle of it. Let Ego Velli break it down. Ryan Garcia has 8-point-something million followers. More followers and subscribers or whatever on his Instagram than guys like Canelo Alvarez. So it's like, why would you have to take Ryan Garcia to all these different markets to build him as a star? Listen, Floyd Mayweather, he's TBE, I gotta say, but he must be TBE because I feel like there's a lot of people in boxing that since Floyd retired or is not, you know, a real active fighter like that, it's like you have all these knockoff great value Floyd type of approaches, and it's like the Eminem song, The Real Slim Shady. It's like, will a real Slim Shady please stand up? There's a lot of people that look like me, but they're not me. That type of attitude. And it's like a fake knockoff Floyd Mayweather blueprint. And the crazy thing is this. My dad was in the military, and they got an acronym that they use in the military. It's called KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. That's what it stands for. You know, it's a little slang acronym or whatever. Keep it simple, stupid. And I feel like Floyd Mayweather showed you the blueprint on superstardom. Like, Floyd didn't have to go to Bucharest and fight in Istanbul and Ibiza and different places like that. Like, he didn't have to go fight in wherever, Germany, and do all this other stuff. Floyd established he bought himself out of his contract with Top Rank, became his own independent, you know, kind of self-promoter, self-starter, got a great team like the Al Haymans and Leonard Ellerbees or whatever, his uncle, rest in peace to the Black Mamba himself, Roger Mayweather, his father, Floyd Sr., etc., and Jeff Mayweather and whoever else, and he got it rocking, you know, Nate Jones, things like that. And he built and developed and also fought the meaningful fights to create the glamour, like to become a glamour boxer or whatever, where he's amassed all this acclaim and generated all this money for himself and also the boxing game and made big events. But boxing is continually trying to change the recipe, and the recipe doesn't need to be changed. And it's just like, I'll liken it to cooking. Just like a real recipe, let's say Colonel Sanders' original recipe has 21 herbs and spices or whatever, right? And everybody loves the chicken the way it is. But you get somebody who tastes the chicken, loves the chicken, and they like how it tastes, but then they'll try to recreate it or do a copycat recipe, but like, oh, I'm just gonna put sprinkles in mine. I'm gonna put paprika on mine, and it's good how it is. And that's what I see in boxing. We see these fake great value promotional packages, you know, how to be a billionaire boxer starter kit, and it's just a lot of just random stuff. You got Teofimo, his approach, he's kind of beefing with his own promoter who he's under contract with, and fighting on Triller, trying to get the bag, and Floyd didn't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Floyd didn't have to abandon his loyalties, and you know, the only thing he had to do is get from up under Top Rank and buy himself out, but then he kept the team that he was with. Teofimo, like I said, he's going to Triller. Oscar De La Hoya is saying Ryan Garcia is going on a world tour. It sounds weird. Floyd didn't go on no world tour. He was the biggest star in boxing. He stayed in Las Vegas. He didn't even go fight at the Barclays or something, which is definitely manageable. Barclays was brand new at a point in time, and they had Danny Garcia opening up the Barclays and things like that, fighting whoever, Zab Judah and Eric Morales and stuff like that. Floyd, he made Las Vegas his home base. He stayed there. He did what he wanted. He fought the necessary competition to get him respect, and he bubbled off of that. But now you have all these people like Oscar De La Hoya. I do believe that Ryan Garcia, he is the future, right? And they're trying all these additional things like a world tour, like he Beyonce or something. And we'll see how it plays out, you know. Like I said, Floyd showed you. Canelo, same thing. They're talking about Canelo wanted to fight in Japan and Europe, and basically the same thing. Like, whose idea, whose brainchild is this? How come Floyd didn't do this? Well, like, why didn't Floyd, and he generated all the money? And I understand things change or whatever, but this hasn't proven to be a lucrative thing, especially you're doing it in an era where there's so much other content outside of boxing. You have Netflix, which is a giant. You got Hulu, you got Paramount, and all these different companies, ESPN, you know, just thousands of apps, and Twitch, and you know, Instagrams and IGTVs and Facebook. You know, there's so much different content. I don't know if this will work. And the other thing is, it's going to be highly, I repeat, highly indicative of who he's fighting. Ryan Garcia, like, let's say he fights in Ibiza, right? Who's he going to fight? Because if it's not Gervonta Davis or a name like that, it doesn't matter how exotic the location is. If people aren't really interested in that fight, it's kind of overkill, you know? And I think this was displayed with Canelo's last outing. He was in a nice venue, you know, the Miami Dolphins home headquarters and home field. They had pyrotechnics. They had a little mini concert with J Balvin, and it was trash. All that, and it was still trash. You had BMX bikers and fireworks and all this stuff, and people doing tricks on a mongoose and all this stuff, but the fight was still trash, and people were left with the sour taste in their mouth. So we'll see how it looks with Ryan Garcia. The other thing that I have to add is crazy that Ryan Garcia, again, he has 8 million followers, and there sounds like a world tour. I'm not the smartest brother in the world, but that would encompass, I mean, you can't really call it a world tour if you're not taking them out of the US. So you have a guy who has 8 million followers, and he does a lot of work with like US YouTube acts, and you know, Jake Pauls and Logan Pauls and these different YouTubers and stuff. And you got Golden Boy talking about taking him out of the country. You know, again, I've never heard of a world tour that was only in the United States. So by definition, world tour means you would be taking him out. Bob Arum talked about this, talking about putting Terrence Crawford in Africa and just weird stuff like that. Why? Like, when has this been the formula? Why does Crawford have to fight in Africa? I ain't from Africa. You from Africa. I'm from Christian Mafia. You African booty scratcher. Like, why does Crawford have to fight in Africa, and you know, all these fights in Macau and different places like that, as if they're known meccas for boxing? You know, same thing with Ryan. You got a U.S. star, and you're telling DAZN, the network that he fights on, that you're gonna put him on a world tour to enhance his profile. You know, I don't know. I don't know whose idea this is, but you know, times have changed, and I don't know how that'll work. Last thing I'll say is this: it's almost utterly shocking that Ryan Garcia went from talking about fighting Manny Pacquiao. I want to hit Ryan Garcia like I did Ricky Hatton. Yeah. Do. And he said he was fighting Gervonta Davis before that. So how do we go from fighting Gervonta Davis, again, another U.S. star, and then you switched up and said you're going to fight Manny Pacquiao, right, in somebody's backyard? That fell apart. And then now you're not fighting either next. You know, all this 2 rounds and a dream come true, I'm fighting Pacquiao, all this mumbo jumbo and cap. And then now you're talking about putting him on a world tour. So I don't know. I don't know what Ryan has to feel like and think about this, but it just sounds like they're possibly on different accords. Like Ryan Garcia wants to fight Tank and he wants to fight Pacquiao, but De La Hoya and Golden Boy may have a completely different presentation and, you know, just strategy as to what they want to do. They're trying to take him on a world tour. But again, I think the most important thing here is if you do a world tour, none of that matters if he's not fighting someone we want to see. We are the consumer. It's our job to consume and in turn pay. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know how you think or what you think about the Ryan Garcia World Tour, the Cap Tour from Golden Boy. We working. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.